Hello, I'm Kim Castiglionis, Marin Women's Hall of Fame honoree from the class of 2013. It is an honor to welcome you to the YWCA Marin Women's Hall of Fame Class of 2026 inductee interviews presented by Kaiser Permanente. In this special series, we have the privilege of sitting down with this year's inductees to hear firsthand about their lives, their careers, and the remarkable journeys that have led them to this well-deserved recognition. Since 1987, the Marin Women's Hall of Fame has inducted more than 170 extraordinary women, leaders who have made meaningful and lasting contributions to Marin County, its residents, and communities far beyond. These honorees represent excellence across diverse fields, including education, science, business, philanthropy, the arts, politics, law, philosophy, and religion. Each has been a catalyst for positive change, and it is an honor to help celebrate and preserve their stories. Today is my pleasure to introduce Jenny Schultz, who is being inducted to the Marin Women's Hall of Fame in 2026 for her visionary work in volunteer leadership. So, Jenny, good morning and welcome. It's what an honor to be here with you today. I wonder if we could start with having you introduce yourself, including your name and what you do.
Okay, my name is Virginia Schultz, but I usually go by Jenny. People know me as Jenny. I'm a library supporter, and I'm currently president of the Friends of the Marin County Free Library, and I've been president of the Friends of the Novato Library. I also support all forms of education. I was a PTA president when my kids were young at Loma Verde School in Novato, and I eventually was elected to the Novato School Board. And it's been a pleasure. It's been fun. It's been a pleasure doing volunteering. I've met so many wonderful people, and I feel really good about it.
Excellent, excellent. So tell us a little bit about your upbringing. What helped shape who you are today, and who are the people in your life that inspired you and influenced you?
Okay, I was born in San Francisco. I'm a Bay Area native through and through. We've moved away a couple times, but we always come back. So I was born in San Francisco to hardworking, savvy parents. My parents came to San Francisco my mother came from Missouri and my father from Tennessee. And they came with only 8th grade educations. But like I said, they were savvy people, worked hard. And thanks to them, and thanks to my wonderful education in San Francisco public schools, I was able to be accepted at UC Berkeley and graduated with a degree in chemistry.
And then you went in to be a volunteer leader for libraries. How did that translate?
Okay. What happened is, when my first job was at the library at Chevron Research. So I'd pour through volumes of chemical abstracts, yeah. And anyway, I met my husband Bill at Chevron. He was a chemical engineer. So when our children were born, I stayed home with the kids. I valued being with them, and I valued their education. And then when they started school, I started volunteering in the local school, which is Loma Verde Elementary School in Novato. And with encouragement from some friends, I finally became PTA president there. And after that, I did some more with PTA, eventually became what they called 14th District PTA, which represented Marin and Sonoma counties on the California State PTA. So I've always been an advocate for education. Actually, PTA was really big in Novato. My good friend Carrie Mazzoni was also a PTA president, and she went on to serve on the school board, and she also served 3 terms as a state assemblywoman representing Marin County, and she was Secretary of Education.
Good friends to know.
Yeah. So I was lucky to have good mentors like that, other people like that.
So talk to us a little bit more about the journey and the kind of the evolution from being on the school board and the president of the PTA, and how you actually translated into the library, and maybe some of the things that you've done that have been very unique and for which you're being honored today.
Okay. Novato schools always struggled for funding. Some of the other districts in Marin are better funded.
Marin.
Southern Marin, yes, better funded. We always struggled with class sizes and paying our teachers enough. So we tried for a couple of ballot measures for school funding with totally grassroots efforts, and they failed. So finally we got it together and hired Godby consultants, and we worked really hard at it. We do multiple phone banks every night and precinct walking on the weekend, and more. And finally, we were able to just squeak by and pass that funding measure for Novato schools. That was 92, in the spring of 92. And I was school board president at the time, and I really wanted it to pass because if it didn't
we
pass,
need the money.
Yeah, well, also we would need to lay off teachers, and I was good friends with a lot of teachers, and I didn't want to see layoffs. So anyway, we're so happy that it passed. And then that fall of 92, the Marin County Free Library had a ballot measure for funding, and it failed. It was it's a totally grassroots effort, and you need more professional help, I think. So I remember reading about it in the paper. I sat home alone and I was reading the IJ, and oh no,
it's gonna fail.
Yeah, the Marin Library measure failed. So I thought, I could help. I could give them some advice, I thought, from my limited experience. So I just called up the library and I said, I'd like to talk to the library director. So finally they put me through, and I said, I think I could help you. I've had some experience here in Nevada with ballot measures. So, of course, I was immediately recruited, and it was a year and a half effort, building public support. Of course, we did more phone banking and precinct walking and all that, and we were able to pass a measure for our Marin libraries, and that was a big breakthrough. But about that time, though, my husband was transferred to Sao Paulo, Brazil. So I was away.
Give up your post.
Yeah, I had to. Yeah, I had just recently been reelected to the school board too. But anyway, we moved to Brazil, which was fascinating.
Fabulous.
Well, it's an interesting experience. Yeah. Oh, Brazilians are wonderful people, and but it was a big city. Very intimidating. But we brought our golden retriever along, and so she was my bodyguard, because it's like any big city. There's a lot of street crime, and you never know. But the Brazilians were wonderful. We took Brazilian Portuguese lessons, and I made a lot of friends there. I had some women friends there that helped me learn more Portuguese, and we stayed friends with them for a long time. And then we were transferred to Houston. And by that time, I hadn't worked for money for a long time. So I said, well, I need some more education. So I went to the local community college, North Harris College, and I took almost every second year computer class. And I got to know the faculty and did okay. So I was invited to be an adjunct teacher the second year we were there. So I taught database management and some simple programming. And then eventually we moved back to Novato. I always want to get back to California and the Bay Area whenever we're away. I did teach a little bit in the Bay Area too, but I eventually then got more involved in the Friends of the Library here. And I became president of the Friends, and I've been involved in the Friends ever since then. That was 1998 that we moved back from Houston. It's been my pleasure.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Now, you have been successful in more than one tax ballot, have you not?
Right.
I want to talk a little bit about how do you persevere when you don't have a success in one district and then you don't have a success in another district? How do you have the stamina and the perseverance? What drives you to just make sure that you're going to get things done?
Well, actually, we were very fortunate. Once we passed the first one, it became easier. And people love our libraries, and but I'll tell you, with these measures, they have a term limit. Like the current one is 9 years. So after you pass one, you have to be thinking about
the next one.
So the Friends of the Library and the Foundation have been supportive, and individuals too. So we're always raising a little money and thinking about the next one. And we like to publicize the good things that are happening. Right now, our libraries are starting a refresh project with a lot of new carpeting, new furniture. But some of the libraries also will be closed. They're going to be closed for a few months sometimes for some remodeling to update some of the rooms, the restrooms, lighting, that type of thing. But I'm really happy that these measures have enabled this work. The current measure brings $4.8 million a year to Marin libraries.
Very nice. Now the libraries. When I was younger and went to the library, you went to the library to study. Yeah. You didn't do much more in the library. But today that's different, is it not?
Yeah, libraries are a place for connection, actually for fun. I just love to go to the story hours, the preschool story hours. We do some of them are bilingual in English and Spanish. Now, I think it's good to be bilingual at an early age. We moved to Brazil when I was 50, trying to learn Portuguese, so...
a little harder road.
Yeah, right. The sooner you learn, the better. But our libraries have a lot going on, like book clubs, crafting clubs for older people, teen activities.
Over 3,000 different kind of programs, as I understand. That's a lot of programming in your libraries. Now, how many are there? How many libraries are there?
Well,
or communities that have libraries in
your
family?
That's an interesting thing. I'm part of the Friends of the Marin County Free Library, and that encompasses about 10 libraries, including Civic Center, Corte Madera, Fairfax, Marin City, Novato, and South Novato, and libraries in West Marin. But some of the cities in Marin have their own city libraries, like, for example, San Rafael, Sausalito. Larkspur is building a new library right now.
Excellent.
It'll be open soon. I think it's going to be beautiful from what I've seen. But that's a city-funded library. They funded it with donations and state grants. And Belvedere Tiburon has a beautiful library. It's separate from the Marin County Free Library System. But we all share a common catalog. Like if you want to read, I just wanted to read Kamala Harris's book, 107 Days. If it's not available at your local library, we share books. They'll deliver it to your library, and you can pick it up at your own library, provided it's not already checked out. Now, for some of the bestsellers, of course, you might have to wait. Yeah, there might be a waiting list, but we do share with the city libraries. But the city libraries have their own funding and their own governance.
It's fabulous collaboration.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It is. Yeah.
So when you think about all of the programs that the Friends of Marin County Library are able to bring to the community, do you have a favorite?
Oh. Well, actually, I love going to the kids' story hours. Yeah. It's fun. And it's not just reading. They have music and movement, and the kids get up and jump around. And of course, I said in some of the programs they're learning another language. We see people, there in the bilingual programs. We see people who are native Spanish speakers and native English speakers. They all enjoy it. Actually, when you go to these programs, you see a lot of caregivers and grandparents taking their kids there.
So very inclusive.
The
library is very inclusive.
Oh yeah, that's it. Okay, I just saw a quote that the library is the most democratic institution on earth. Everybody is welcome at the library. We have T-shirts that we sell that say all are welcome at the library. Yeah. And librarians will defend your right to read whatever you want to read. Here in Marin, we're fortunate that we haven't had a lot of book banning, but
have we had any?
Not that I know of.
Okay, just checking.
Not that I know of, but any librarian will defend your right to read whatever you want to read.
Let me ask you this: when you're faced with challenges, what motivates you? What inspires you? I alluded to this a little bit earlier. What really gives you the willingness to move forward despite all of the obstacles?
You know, I often think of my mother, my own mother. You know, she had overcame a lot of obstacles, but she's always ready to assess what do you need and make a plan of action. And be persistent, take action. I remember, as an example of my mother, her best friend down the street had 4 kids and her husband left. So right away, my mother says, well, that's too bad, Alice, but you're going to have to get a job. You know, my mother
very practical.
My mother was very practical. Yeah, right, and she was very focused. She always made all of her own clothes. She was very, very thrifty. She even made my wedding dress.
You still have it?
I do.
I'd like to see it sometime. That would be fun. So she sounds like a wonderful inspiration. On the kind of the topic of mentorship, what have you experienced either as being a mentor and having other mentors in your life help influence the kind of woman and volunteer leader you are today?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I never thought about it so much when I was being mentored. I mean, like I said, I had good friends in PTA who were very smart, motivated. One was Carrie and another, I don't know, Lori Stephen Piper. And they encouraged me to be a PTA president, to run for school board. They seem to appreciate my talents. That's what, and I don't so much think about mentoring people as much as appreciating their talents and looking for people's talents, because, like, as a board president, the key to success, I think, is finding the talents of each person and encourage them to use what talents they have and work together. That's really it, you know, just appreciating people. And I've got to say, thank you notes are wonderful. In this digital age, I'm seeing more and more people write handwritten thank you notes, and it is so inspiring. It makes you feel so good.
And somebody's taken the time to actually sit down and show you their appreciation. I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
Of course, I always worried kids today don't learn cursive very well.
Maybe they should go to the library. We're going to sign up for some penmanship classes.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, most of my granddaughters seem to like to print. But.
What would you say to the next generation of young female leader, or the next generation of young women who aspire to grow into a role as a volunteer leader? What advice would you give them?
Oh, just follow your heart, whatever interests you. Yeah, actually, I'm more concerned. You know, this is an interesting question too. I'm more concerned that we're not seeing the men volunteering as much.
Tell me more.
Yeah, women are doing fantastic things these days. Unfortunately, we haven't had a woman president yet, but we will soon, I'm sure. But but I do see women mentoring each other more, encouraging each other more than men do. And of course, I hear in schools, in colleges, the number of women are outnumbering men. And I think women do more to help each other.
I'd like to hear that.
I think they do.
How about for the libraries themselves? What would your vision and your hope be? What would you like to either ask or say to the community in terms of how they can help impact or have a positive impact on our libraries?
Well, right now, one thing we're looking at is we'd like to have a couple of new library buildings. The library at South Novato is it's in a temporary building. It's right there. It's near, and it's a wonderful location for collaboration with schools. It's right near Hamilton School, Hamilton Elementary School, and it's near the Novato Charter School, and it's near the new North Bay Children's Center. And right there too, there's a the makers. We used to call it makerspace. They call it the shop now, where you can learn all kinds of activities from woodworking to sewing.
So we're looking for some more money for that, or a location.
I think so, yeah. So in Novato, South Novato there. Mm-hmm. Like I said, it's a temporary building. It's outliving its usefulness. And also at Marin City, where they have a library in a rented space at the Gateway Shopping Center. And with some of these, at the Gateway Shopping Center, the building doesn't have a community room where they can hold events. Libraries like to have a lot of speakers, authors come to speak, or master gardeners, all that. So, and you need a room for that, mm-hmm. where you can set up chairs and have, have displays. And so both South Novato and Marin City really need their own dedicated libraries, new buildings.
So will that funding come from the tax measures, or is that going to be a new outreach for the public?
I think it's a new outreach. Okay, like I've been following the Larkspur Library. They apparently did get a state grant to match, but they also had a lot of private funding from foundations and donors. So it's going to be a combination of sources, I think.
Excellent. Let me ask you this. How do you raise awareness to the broader community about what you're doing? I mean, I told you I saw the sign, the banner.
Oh, yeah.
And you corrected me because it was
the Santa
It was a Santa Fe library, but it was a library. So in my mind, right, libraries are all kind of in the same community or same family. But so how does the Marin Friends of the Library, Friends of Marin County Library, go about their outreach in the communities to raise awareness?
One thing, our school librarians visit all the schools. We outreach to the schools, and they partner with other organizations like the Marin Master Gardeners. We partner with the Marin Humane Society. Kids have something. Read to a dog.
Oh, that's fun.
It's so cute because kids are maybe a little shy about reading to an adult, mm-hmm. but they'll sit and read to a dog.
That's fun.
Yeah. So it's partnering with other organizations. I love it when we have author talks at the library, or like I said, Marin Master Gardeners will help you with your talks on what grows in Marin.
I need to come to that one.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you'd like to share with our audience today that either we would like to know about you, that you think helped made you who you are today, or to help inspire the community to get behind and support our community libraries?
Just go to the library and you'll see so many exciting things happen. people use the libraries for internet access. I remember once I was outside the library, we had a little fundraiser, and I obviously, a man was, he came outside to talk on the phone, but obviously he was using the library as
his little office?
As his own little office, yeah, right. Well, he was self-employed, you know, actually, the internet access is really important to a lot of people at the libraries. In fact, sometimes you'll even see people sitting in their cars. I've never tried. Actually, I've never tried. I don't know how good it is, but I know that, that internet access at the library is really important to people. The library offers so many different things for different people.
Really is a destination.
Yeah.
Really is a destination. I have another question for you. What has been the most difficult thing you've faced during your tenure as a volunteer leader?
Well, sometimes it's recruiting new people. We've always been lucky, but it's always a challenge. Recently, we had a talk at our annual meeting, and Allison Howard spoke. She's a political science professor at Dominican, and she mentioned a book, Bowling Alone. It was popular 20 years ago, but it detailed how people aren't joining things as much as they used to. I didn't fully realize it until I actually bought the book, and people aren't joining quite as much as they used to. It's certainly a lot of churches, a lot of clubs don't have the membership that they used to. And the biggest challenge is finding new leadership, new people for our Friends of the Library, for any library support groups. In Marin, we also have a library foundation. They like to save for bigger projects. The Friends are more actively involved and work on active projects. The other challenge is helping young kids read. That's another thing that Friends have been helping with, is getting books to kids. In fact, we fund books that we give to children at like the county fair or other events, because children who have books at home and read succeed. That's one of the most important things for success in school, is reading and love of books. It helps tremendously if a child has a library at home, have their own books.
That sounds fabulous. I love to read. I've got a couple of grandkids. I love to read to them. It's fun. They get so animated in their face with the surprise and wonder, but which the story gets revealed on the page. So I think that's fabulous.
It's fun how they like to read the same book over and over too, that when they're young.
Pretty soon they'll start telling it to you in your own way, right? Jenny, I understand that the Friends of the Marin County Library have a scholarship program. Could you talk to us a little bit about your scholarship program?
Oh, thank you for reminding me. Yes, a good friend of mine, Diane Rosenberger, has passed away, but before her passing, she set up a fund for scholarships for library staff who want to get the Master's in Library Science degree. Diane herself was a librarian at the Federal Reserve Bank in San Francisco.
Oh, very fun.
And since then, her husband has fully funded the program, and we've had at least two people graduate with their Master's in Library degree, and other people are studying now. And I want to emphasize to anybody that works for the library, this program is available. And will fully fund their degree.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So I think I've learned a lot more about what is available at our libraries. And I want to thank you very much for your stewardship and your leadership over the years on behalf of the community here. It's inclusive, diversity. There's a lot of diversity there. There's a lot of programming there. There's opportunities for us to volunteer. There's great ways for us to contribute to help sustain and enrich the library experience for the Marin County residents. So I want to thank you, Jenny, very much again for joining us today. Thank you, Jenny Schultz, for sharing stories from your remarkable life and work with us. And thank you to our viewers for tuning into the YWCA Marin Women's Hall of Fame Class of 2026 inductee interviews presented by Kaiser Permanente. To learn more about the YWCA Marin Women's Hall of Fame and our honorees, please visit the YWCA Golden Gate Silicon Valley webpage at www.yourywca.org.